Hey guys, what's up? Plastic Guy here, coming back with another figure review, and today we're taking a look at this brand new Hasbro Indiana Jones action figure, and this is really exciting. One, because as far as I'm aware, this is the first 6-inch kind of line that's been released for Indiana Jones. In the past, it's been mostly 3.75-inch figures and 12-inch figures from what I've seen. Any kind of 6-inch Indiana Jones figures look to be customs, and this is pretty cool to get this line coming out now when Hasbro are releasing a lot of good quality figures. It's cool to see. Second of all, I just love Indiana Jones. He's a really special character to me. Lots of great memories. I used to love the films, watch them quite a lot. I've actually been rewatching them recently. Still to watch the third one, watch the first two, and they still hold up. Still great films in my opinion. I just think, the budget of Temple of Doom must have been insane. Lots of action, lots of just great moments in them. Yeah, Indiana Jones fan, have been for a while. I used to love the games. I played a lot of played the Lego games to death. I had a game for the original Xbox that I loved, had a game for the Wii that was really fun. And back when I was a kid, I wanted a 6-inch Indiana Jones figure so bad. As I said, I played the Lego games to death. I had a few of the Lego sets, and that kind of kept me going, but I always wanted an Indiana Jones figure. They eventually released a bunch of 3.75-inch figures, and as you can see, I managed to grab one, and that would have been, I don't know what age I would have been, but very young, and I was so chuffed when I got this thing. We can take a closer look at it later. So yeah, now being able to pick up this figure here is a lot of, it's bringing me a lot of enjoyment. So let's not wait any longer, let's do what we always do and jump right into this thing, take a closer look, see what it comes with. Yeah, let me know down in the comments section below what you guys think of Indiana Jones. I was also surprised that they were releasing a full line of figures, because is Indiana Jones still popping? Do a lot of younger kids know Indiana Jones? Are they watching the films? Are they playing the games? Do they know the character? Are they going to want to pick up these figures? I'm guessing it is aimed more at the adult collector, but even then, some of the characters they're releasing, are you really needing? I'm just picking up Indiana Jones. They've announced some future Indiana Jones figures that I've pre-ordered. I've pre-ordered the Temple of Doom one where he's got the ripped shirt and things. So I'll have a couple Indiana Jones figures, and then that's me. I'm not really bothered. Short Round would be cool. If I can get Short Round in the sale, I'll maybe pick them up, but then that's me. So let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. While you're down there, guys, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. And let's not wait any longer, let's check out this new indie figure. Please ignore my dodgy, blocked nose voice. I've got a wee bit of a cold, but whatever. Indiana Jones up the top, Adventure Series. Awesome product image here. That does look really good. Keep that in mind. Look at his face, take that in, because that's one thing I'll probably talk about later. Build an artifact. I'm not too sure what that... Oh, okay, yeah, never mind. Build an artifact, Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, so that is from the first film. Plastic-free packaging, of course. I do actually like the box, I think it looks really nice. Indiana Jones image on the side. What do we get here? Build an artifact. So we do get pieces of this here. Here are the figures in the wave, and yeah, as I said, only really interested in indie. Let me know if you're picking any of the other ones up. And here is a product image here with everything it includes, and as you can see, you get a fair bit with this figure, which is awesome. Really rate that. And then we get the product image again on this side. So yeah, as I said, really like the box. I really like the colors, really like the pictures they've used. It is nice, but I'm not going to keep it or anything like that, but happy enough with it. And then we get the figure. And here is Indy out of the packaging, and he comes with a fair bit, which is really good. This retailed for around £25. We know that Hasbro recently have been skimming on the accessories. They've been all over the place with their pricing, so I think this amount of accessories, this quality of figure, £25 is decent. I don't really have any complaints with that at all. Relating to the build an artifact thing, these are I believe what it's referring to, this will sit on top of the other bits that you collect throughout the wave. These look really nice, really like the gold and the sculpt they've used on this. Even without building the artifact, you know, it's something that you could imagine Indiana Jones going after and collecting. So yeah, really like both of these. And we also get this here, which I don't necessarily think is part of the build an artifact thing. It's the same kind of colours, which at first I thought they were all together, but I think this is just kind of a plain accessory. This looks like what Indiana Jones goes and grabs at the start of Raiders of the Lost Ark. So yeah, I think this is just a cool wee piece that you can you can try and slot in his hand. I've already been playing around with this figure and it is a bit of a nightmare. You do just kind of have to balance it and hope for the best, but yeah, it's really cool that we get this. It does look really nice, looks pretty movie accurate as well. I do think the one in the movie had lines down the back of the hair, but you know, whatever, it looks good and I'm glad we get it. We get a plethora of hands. We get this fisted one for his right arm, we then get the fisted one for the left arm, all nicely sculpted. I do like the flesh tone as well. We then get this one, which I think's for holding the whip. And we get this kind of more open, sort of relaxed hand that you could also fit the idol into. As I said, just kind of have to balance it around. You get this one here, which I like, and then you get the two that's slotted into the figure, one to hold the gun and one to hold the wrapped up whip. We then get this open whip, and I do think this looks really good, but when it came out of the packaging it was insanely warped. It didn't look great, and the last couple of days I've just kind of had it sitting over something to keep it that bit more open, and it seems to have stayed in place. So I do really like how it looks. I like the sculpt here. I like that we get the open one and the closed one that you can hold. Yeah, this was great. As I said, you might need to add a wee bit of heat to it or whatever just to get it in a better shape than what it arrives in. The gun's decent as well. It's a bit small, but he did have a small gun in the film. But yeah, I do like the sculpt of this. It's just all black. It's pretty skinny. It's a bit flimsy as well, especially when you're putting it in the holder. Just be very wary, because when I pulled it out the holster the first time, this wee end bit was a bit bent. So yeah, just be wary. It is a bit more of a flexible plastic, and putting it in the holder might warp it a wee bit. The closed whip is great. My first complaint is going to be trying to get it to stay in this wee bit here. So you can see there's a tag, this bit folds over and it's meant to slot into that hole and keep the whip on his belt there. Lo and behold, that does not work. Like, I cannot get the port to just stay in there. The tag will not stick. I don't know if it's just, I think the rubber's too flexible. It's not sturdy enough, especially with the weight of this thing. It's not heavy, but yeah, it's just a bit fidgety and it's not really working out for me. I've given up. But I do like this, and I do like being able to have his hand hold it like this. So another really good accessory, something that's really cool that comes with it. We get both the options there. The gun, it's the same idea here. Like, so the tab, you put the gun in and then close it over. This one does fit a bit better, but you do need to proper fidget around with it to really get that nub in there and hold it in place. So yeah, those two bits really fidgety. The whip one doesn't work as well as the gun one does, but really cool that they've given us that option to be able to place some of these things on the figure even when he's not holding it in hand. And then we get the figure itself, and I think this looks really good. I do think it looks great. The costume is absolutely spot on. The weathering all over it just looks great. It really pops. Yeah, basically a childhood dream come true, straight up. When I got to the head sculpt, I went to take the hat off. I just presumed the hat was removable. At no point did I think that this thing was sculpted on there. And I think it's mostly because in this 3.75 inch one, the hat comes off. What I will say, you can tell that the hat comes off in this one because it's so big and it looks a bit off. I don't know, I'm a bit of two minds because I think this looks really good. I think it sits really nicely on his head. It looks the part, the way it's sculpted on there. If it was removable, it would probably take away from that. It wouldn't look as good, but it would be a lot more fun. It would be great if we could remove the hat. I'm sure that is something that will come down the line, but for the most part, I think all the hats are sculpted onto his head, and I was a bit shocked when I went to take it off and I realised it was sculpted on there. As I said, I just presumed the whole time that it did come off, but it doesn't, so there we go. And as I said, I do think it looks good, the fact that it doesn't, but would be fun if you could take it off. But there we go, the hat looks really good, really nice sculpt, really nice weathering all around it, and I'll probably say the same about every part of this figure, because that is the case. The head sculpt is good. I think it looks like Indiana Jones. I think it looks like Harrison Ford. Some angles more than others. It could be better. It could be better. I mean, they've given us Harrison Ford Black Series figures before, and I think these could be better as well. There's not like a Han Solo figure they've released where I've went, holy moly, that's Harrison Ford. I do think it's maybe a wee bit closer in likeness, the Han Solo figure here, but I don't know, it's good, but it could be better, I think. But overall, I mean, I'm really happy with it. I think the other thing about the face is it looks really dirty. I mean, there's marks like up here, and I think his beard's just really scruffy. The paint's not like consistent, so it's a lot darker down at the chin area here, and then really light in the top lip and around the sides and things. The chin looks like it's a bit, you know, it's missing a bit. So overall, when you're looking at the face, it looks a bit off, and that's why I said when we're looking at the box, like, it doesn't look the same. You know, this looks really clean, very I don't know, it looks like that, and then this looks like this. So it's a bit odd, but overall it does look good, I think. I think it's intentionally meant to look dirty. Of course, Indiana Jones is dirty throughout the film, crawling about, jumping about in the caves and things, so it's like, it is what it is, but I think it can be a bit offish when you're looking at it sometimes. Just worth mentioning. I rate it overall, but definitely worth mentioning. The rest of the body looks really good. It lacks in articulation though. There's no articulation in the body area here. The shirt looks really nice. It's got all that sculpted detail on it. The collar looks good. You've got the satchel running round the back, but there's no articulation here. When I was taking pictures of this thing, I noticed this arm looks like it sticks out a bit, and it does. There's no upper bicep swivel here, which was a wee bit annoying when I got round to posing this guy around, but doesn't take away from the figure too much. But there is a weird kind of joint going on here. You can see like the top here, you can see the shirt, the way it's going into the arm. I don't know, yeah, you can see when I'm trying to pull it up here, it's not wanting to move. I'll see if I can do it. There we go, push it right in, and it looks a lot better when it's pushed in. But then when you want to bring the arm down to the side of the body, it seems to kind of pop back out of place, so it's odd. I'm not too happy with how it's been done. As a bit of an inconvenience. It looks unnatural having his arms stick out like that, and then when you want to bring it, you could probably bring it down there and it'll still look alright, but when you want to have it right down the side of his body, it then looks like it's too far out up at the top here. Yeah, I don't know, just have you had the same problem? Have you got this figure? Have you noticed that? I thought it was a wee bit annoying. This arm seems fine. I mean, once again, it's not got any upper bicep swivel, but it looks a lot more natural. Not really had any problems here. The elbow joint is fine as well, you know. All good, pinless, you know, looks slick, looks really nice, but yeah, articulation is a wee bit odd. You've got the hands, you've got the holster. I do really like all this, just as a bit fidgety. Legs look really good. I like the trousers, I like how it's all bundled up here, I like the weathering, and same with the boots. Everything looks spot on this figure. I think this is a great Indiana Jones figure. I think they've nailed it. I think this is a great 6-inch addition to the character. I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing. just wanted to run over those couple wee gripes, but overall, this thing is ace. So comparing this figure, I didn't have much to compare him to, but of course I had to do a Harrison Ford comparison. So we've got Indiana Jones next to Han Solo here, and what's funny is we can see they've used the same sculpt for the gun hand. But yeah, let me know what likeness you think's the best, because as I said, I don't think this nails Harrison Ford either. Of course we know who it is and the iconic costume and everything, but it's Harrison Ford-ish, and I'd probably say the same about both of these figures. They don't seem to have nailed them yet. Let me know what you guys think is the best Harrison Ford sculpt. And then of course I have to compare this bigger Indiana Jones to these smaller Indiana Jones figures that came out for the Crystal Skull movie. We've got Shia LaBeouf's character, and we did actually take a closer look at these figures in a Star Wars collection video that I did a while back. I love them, just very nostalgic for me, especially this Indiana Jones figure. I wanted an Indiana Jones figure for so long, and then this one just nailed it, especially just back then playing around with my figures and things. As I said, the hat's removable, and I think that's really fun. I think it's a great, a great touch to the figure, and it's something I definitely want to see later on in this series. It does look a bit off, the way it sits on his head. The hat looks too large, which I suspect is why they've went down the sculpt route, but yeah, it's a cool wee figure. If you're an Indiana Jones fan, you should definitely try and get your hands on some of these smaller ones. Just a lot of fun, and this is the perfect upgrade. So to try and run over all the articulation on this figure, we can get the head moving about that far up, about that far down. The head will pivot around. You can kind of move it to different positions. Yeah, it's just on a ball peg. I've went over the arm already. You're gonna have to kind of pop that in. Is it even gonna go any further than that? I feel like it's gonna break if I go any further than that, so I'm gonna leave it there. You've got that elbow. It's pretty much just a single jointed elbow, but I don't think you'd need much more than that there. Wrist can rotate all around, same articulation in that arm, nothing in the body. It will pivot around at the waist, and that's about it. So forwards, backwards, left and right. Upper thigh cut, get the leg kicking really far forward, about that far back, about that far out the way. Upper thigh cut. Once again, that's more like a single jointed knee, and then you can get the foot moving about forwards, backwards. It will pivot around as well. I think that's the majority of the articulation. I've probably missed something, but yeah, that's about the bulk of it. And so there we have it for this brand new Indiana Jones figure, and I think it's really good. I don't think it's great, I don't think it's amazing, it's not the perfect Indiana Jones, but it's really, really good. I mean, the sculpt's there, it looks awesome. I kind of said, the articulation was limited, and it is, but you don't really need a lot of articulation to make this figure look good at all. I mean, this thing looks the best when it's just in a nice neutral pose, and I've had a lot of fun taking a lot of pictures of this thing from Instagram. I've always wanted a 6-inch Indiana Jones figure, and this thing has delivered. This is going to keep me happy for a long time. We've got his classic costume, it looks great. There could be improvements here and there, but I'm very happy for the most part, especially for the price point and all the accessories and things that we get. This thing's really good, and I definitely recommend picking it up if you are an Indiana Jones fan, or check out any of the upcoming figures as well, because they also look really good. And as I mentioned, I do have the Temple of Doom Indiana Jones figure pre-ordered. Let me know what you guys think of this figure down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of the line overall, and while you're down there, if you liked the video, please hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'll leave the link to my Instagram in the description below, where I'll definitely be posting this Indiana Jones figure up on there, so feel free to check that out, and feel free to hop on over to the channel page as well and check out any of my other figure reviews over there. It would mean a lot. So thank you guys so much for watching this video right here, and as always, I'll catch yous on the flip-flop later. Cheers.